It's Tuesday Inspiration with Toby. I'm excited to be here. I'm always excited, because it feels good to speak to everyone every time, every Tuesday, and ensure that everyone is trying to be the best version of themselves. So we move straight to the topic of today's Tuesday Inspiration with Toby, which is feel up. Feel up. So many times it feels like we just don't know if things will add up. We just don't know if it is worth it investing our time, our energy on improving our skills or talents. Feels like the results are not showing. It feels like what we want to see at the end of these times that we're investing in our skills and potentials are not adding up and we're not seeing the results. So it feels like, oh yeah, we should just give up and all. But you know that these are just feelings as I have identified. They're just mere feelings. It is a usual habit for all humans to think in any manner they want to. You know, it depends on the situation that you're faced with. You begin to reason in a particular way, in a particular sequence. You begin to look at your life like, oh yeah, this is what it is, and that is what it is. Begin to have a lot of thoughts to your head. Say, okay, am I really getting the most or the best out of what I want to get? Begin to ask yourself questions. If you haven't thought of um, having doubts, if you haven't thought of how big your skills would take you or how far your skills will take you in the nearest future, you have to now start getting yourself together. You have to get yourself together and you have to know that there is nothing that is going to come so easy. There must be some deliberate attempt to invest your time, your energy, and to fill up all necessary spaces that are required. There are spaces, there are skill gaps, there are talent gaps. We have to identify them ourselves and begin to fill them up by ourselves. If, for example, you have water issues in your house, you don't just say, oh, I have water issues, and you go to sleep. If you say you have water issues, you would have to look for how to maybe get a water tanker to come fill your tank, or you have a water drum, or you have some buckets, or you have some pails, whatever that you have to just preserve water so you can basically survive. You don't just go, you have to fill up these tanks and just get water in place so you could survive. You could drink, you could have your bath, you could cook, a lot of things that we use water to do. As important as water is, as important as water is, that's how important our skills and talents are. The moment we begin to fill up the spaces, the gaps that are in them, then we begin to progress. If we feel like, oh, it's not important for us to fill up the spaces or to fill up these gaps, then we begin to make so many mistakes. It's important for us to constantly and consciously fill up these gaps. If you have skill gaps, if you have talent gaps, if sometimes gaps might mean that you have them but you're not utilizing them the way you ought to, because there are some things you know how to do that you're not doing right now. You have to start doing them, because the more you do, the better you become. The more you do, the better you become. I say this every time. Relevance is very key. Relevance is very key. If you consistently work on yourself, if you consistently ensure that you're doing the best and ensuring that you're putting out your energy in investing in yourself, in the nearest future, when there's a need for that your skill, for that your talent, then you see that you begin to be somebody who is very relevant and that will be sought after. There is this quote from an anonymous person, and it says, fill up your own cup so that you can overflow into the lives of others. Fill up your own cup so that you can overflow into the lives of others. People need to get impact from you. People need to feel your presence. People need to see the importance of your skill, not because you're living for your life for them, but because you're somebody who is out to impact somebody, somebody who's out to prefer solutions to things. Our skills and talents are ordinarily meant to prefer solutions to problems. If your skills and your talents are not preferring solutions, then I mean, you have to look at the gaps in those skills and talents, and you begin to fill them up so that you become a solution provider. When you become a provisions provider, then good things will start happening to you. If you just want to watch yourself right now, you would know where you have that skill gap, you know where you have that break in transmission, you know where you're not doing so good, you know where you're not doing so well, and you begin to constantly and consciously learn how to improve upon the skill or the talent, and you see that your life would begin to affect others, begin to affect you yourself, and you'd see that you begin to grow tremendously. If you care for your skill, if you care for your talent, you would see that your growth will be very rapid. If you care for your skills, if you care for your talents, your growth will be very rapid. Please don't forget to fill up those spaces, those empty spaces, those places that you've neglected in the past. Look at your life today, look at what the things that you're doing that you're not doing rightly, and begin to fill up those spaces. Don't forget, if you need water to survive and you have water issues, you don't go to sleep, you look for how to get water and store them, or store the water in your drums, in your tanks, in whatever possible place you could keep it so you can survive. You need it for drinking, you need it for bathing, you need it for cooking, you need it for any other thing. You would ensure that you're investing so much time and energy in getting this water. So take your skills very important, and ensure that you're filling the gaps and you're filling up your talent and your potential with the right tools, with the right ingredients, with the right things, and watch your life grow rapidly. So thank you very much for joining me on Tuesday Inspiration. I'll see you next week Tuesday. Bye bye.